Welcome to Jump Inside Games. We are playing Gears of War Reloaded. This is a Jump Inside episode where we take a look at the things that you'll be introduced to in the first few minutes of this game. I'm also going to compare this to the original because there is a few things that this game does a little bit better, and I will be telling you about those in just a second. Let's get started in this game.
For a time, the humans of Serra knew the illusion of peace.
Now, I know that this particular cutscene is in the original, however, I couldn't find it anywhere on my game. I tried creating a new profile and trying to start a new game, but it didn't trigger. It just went straight to 14 days later. So I do love this cutscene, and it does explain a lot, but I'm so glad it's definitely in this game at the beginning.
Until Emergence Day.
Also, can I just say how much I love this cutscene? The cutscenes are done so well. They're so much better than the previous. Anyway, let's continue.
By destroying their own civilization. Now, the long struggle against overwhelming odds approaches a final, desperate stand.
And like I said before, I checked the previous game to see if it was inside this game, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked throughout the menu settings, I even started a new campaign, and still nothing. Anyway, back to Gears of War Reloaded, and we start off as Act 1 with Ashes. And what an absolutely way more dramatic cutscene than the previous game. In fact, you know what? Let's compare them both.
Jack, rip that door.
What are you doing here?
Getting you out. Here, put this on. You'll need it.
You could get in a lot of trouble for doing this.
Not anymore. Things have changed. We better go.
What about the other prisoners? You can't just leave them here.
They're gone. Hoffman pardoned everybody.
Is that right?
Welcome back to the army, soldier.
Shit. Let's go.
So yes, I will be comparing it some areas to the original game, but I must say that the people that are screaming at me, I am aware that there is a game called Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which this is basically a copy and paste of. So yes, it does feel like they've put very little effort and they've just turned up some of the brightness and colouring and all that kind of stuff and made it for a 4K market. Basically what I'm trying to say is if you've already played the Ultimate Edition, there's not really any need to play this game. However, if you are interested in playing this game, they've just remade it pretty much in 4K. That's literally about it. There's nothing majorly special in this. However, if you are coming into this from the 2006 edition, yes, there is going to be some updates. Not major updates, but there are little nice additions here and there. A little bit of a backstory. This is 14 years after E-Day, and Marcus Phoenix was in this prison cell, and Dom came and rescues him. Now they're escaping from prison to do a task. Also, I just want to mention that I went back to the menu and found out that playing this on casual was completely boring, so I'd leveled it up to normal, so it was a decent playthrough. Basically, I didn't want to just shoot every enemy in a one-shot kill. I wanted to actually fight them. So yes, grab your grenades, grab your guns, and get ready to throw them and shoot them at the enemy known as the Locusts. Yeah, there are lots of different types of guns and weapons inside this game. There's shotguns, there's assault rifles, there's grenades that you can throw, and then there's the main weapon, which is basically the chainsaw that you can cut your enemies in half with. Anyway, after escaping from the prison, you want to make your way to the helicopter, and as you do that, you kind of get chased by a 20-legged corpse with 7 claws attached to it. So, yeah, it's probably best to run away as fast as you can. Anyway, we're riding the helicopter. You get introduced that you'll be joining Delta Squad, and that Colonel Hoffman is waiting to debrief you when you get to the ground zone. You've also got, as leader of Delta Squad, you've got Kim, you've also got Carmine who's sitting on the side of the helicopter, and you've also got Dom who rescued you from the prison. So then you're introduced to Hoffman, and Hoffman explains that he's got a plan to take down the whole of the Locust Horde because you're at war and the war's been lasting for so long, and he's got an idea how to take them all down. He's going to use a bomb, but there is an issue. He can't launch the bomb without knowing where to aim. That is called the Resonator, and you need to find the Resonator and deploy it underground where the Locusts live.
We now have the light mass bomb. I'll take out all these bastards with one shot.
So you've been tasked to go and find the Resonator. The Resonator is currently with Alpha Squad, but they've gone missing, so you're also tasked to find Alpha Squad, which the Resonator should be with. And you fight the Locust Horde all the way to try and find Alpha Squad. Now, the Locusts have a big weakness, and I love it. So basically, the Locusts live underground, and when they attack you by coming up through holes in the ground. However, if you throw grenades inside the holes, it closes the holes up, and they can't come up from that hole anymore. One of the things about this game is it also gives you a bit of a choice in different parts of the game, where you can either choose to take a left path or a right path. This forces the team to split up, where 2 go left and 2 go right. If you're playing this just on your own, this is absolutely fine. Just pick whatever path you want to go down. If you're playing this with a cooperative person, then you would go left and your partner would take the right path, which is quite fun because if one of you dies, you both have to restart from the checkpoint. There's no respawns in the middle of it, so just be careful and realize that this game will split you up and you will have to be kind of on your own for a little portion of the game. And I say on your own because I keep seeing Dom in Carmine keep going down all the time. It's really kind of annoying. These are the guys that are like the AI team, and it feels like they should be backing you up when it feels more like this game has put them on your team and you're more like babysitting them all the way to the next part of the level. Now, you can only have so many people on your team. So, for example, you are going to be recruiting a guy called Cole in just a moment, so it has to take someone off the team. By doing that, they're going to first take off Carmine. Then you're introduced to Cole. He's basically called, or as he likes to put it, Coltrane, and he's going to be part of your squad now as a replacement for Carmine.
Private Augustus Cole, Alpha Squad, sir.
Cole? As in the Cole train?
Yeah, that's right.
Carmine explains where he last saw Alpha Squad.
Where's the rest of your squad?
They're sitting tight over in the tomb.
Which means that's where we have to head to. Unfortunately, Google Maps doesn't exist and we're on a different planet and we're at war, so it's going to be quite tricky. And then they're going to introduce to you a 20-legged creature with 7 claws again. However, this time you've got a gun called the Hammer of Dawn, which is going to mount the hell out of that monster. However, that weapon can only be used from outdoors and only when the sun's out. So it's a weapon that can only be used so much. After a little bit more fighting, we eventually find a character called Beard, who is basically part of Alpha Squad. He's also going to join this squad, so Kim will also need to be eliminated. So that will lead into a cutscene. Now, this cutscene is why I love this particular game. It just reveals a little bit more context compared to the previous. Let me show you the previous first. So in the previous, we've got Bird bringing over a device. This device is called the Resonator, but we don't really see it that much within this particular cinematic, which is a little bit of a shame because that's a really important story factor, which might get people confused when the Resonator actually came into the story. And in the latest version, whether you're playing the Ultimate or the Reloaded Edition, we've actually got Bird coming over with the Resonator device, and he actually hooks it on the back of Cole. Now, I really like that little bit of information inside the cutscene right there, because it just adds that little bit more context of that is the Resonator and what's happening with it. He's hooking it on the back of Cole. Cole's now in charge of the Resonator. We didn't get that before. We just had to fill in the gaps inside our heads. Now we just get that little bit more context so it doesn't confuse players. Anyway, that's the introduction of this game. That's about less than an hour worth of playing this. This is free if you've got Xbox Game Pass, and it's such an excellent game. I absolutely love it. Anyway, that's it from me. That's the Jump Inside episode right there. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on another Jump Inside episode very soon. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to consider to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.